Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. We have an inventory video. I don't have any specific number I'm trying to reach. It really just is for fun. It's because I'm curious and it's something I like to track over time. Anyway, let me go over a few little details about how I count certain things. An eyeshadow palette counts as one product, and so does an individual eyeshadow single. I also count total eyeshadow pans as well, so I'll be sharing both of those numbers with you. I count a travel or deluxe size as its own thing. If it's going to take me a few weeks to finish, I do count it as a product. If it's a one-use sample, I don't count that. If I have a duo or a face palette with multiple products in it, I count each pan as its own individual product. For example, I have this face palette from Charlotte Tilbury. This counts as one blush, one highlighter, and two bronzer contour products. I'll have photos of what it looks like now and what my collection looked like 6 months ago, and I'll go through each category starting with eyes, then going to lips and then face, and then rounding up all the numbers at the end. Let's start with brow products. Last time I did an update in July of 2023, I had 5 lip products. I still have 5 lip products, but they are a little bit different. I have a new brow gel. I still have the Ulta, the e.l.f., and the PYT brow pencil, but I finished the Milani one, and I did get a little Winky Luxe one. It's like a universal shade. I don't know if that's what it looks like full size or if that's just a deluxe size, but it was a gift with purchase. For eyeliners, I had 3 last time. I now have 5. I still have that nude eyeliner from Essence. If you can see, it's a little bit shorter than it was before because I do use that one pretty often. And then I did finish the ColourPop pen and the Essence brow pencil, and I have brought in a few to replace them. So I have a black liner from Milk. I have Ash from Victoria Beckham, which is a really dark gray. I have a brown liner from Kiko, and then I have a Make eyeliner. I think this is also a black shade. For eyeshadow primers, I had the NYX Glitter Glue last time. I did end up finishing that one and then repurchasing another one to replace it. So I have a NYX Glitter Glue in both photos, but the one that I have now is brand new. I use the Ulta one as my everyday eyeshadow primer, and then the Jason Wu one reminds me a lot of the ABH primer, where it's really brightening. It's almost white. It's just like a little bit lighter than my skin tone, and it's super opaque, so it just cancels out everything and gives me a blank canvas. And so I am glad I have all 3. I think these are 3 very solid primers. Mascaras, the amount really hasn't changed too much, but most of the mascaras are new. I typically go through 4 or 5 mascaras a year. So I had the What's Up Beauty mascara. I'm finishing that up this year, so I still technically have it. And then I did finish those 3 mascaras in the previous picture. I now have 4 new ones: a mini Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury, the Kush mascara from Milk, the Milani Anti-Gravity, and the Ulta one, the New Heights mascara. I do have the What's Up Beauty and the Charlotte Tilbury mini mascara open. The other 3 are unopened, and I'll just go to those once I finish the 2 that I have. This is a category that kind of stays this number, around this number, but it's different every year. Eyeshadow palettes. The number of palettes I own hasn't changed too much, but I have switched out a few palettes. I had 15 last time, I now have 16. I try to keep it where like that bottom left corner is kind of where all the new stuff is. And so if you can see, I finished the quad from Charlotte Tilbury last year, and then I did declutter the Creepy Cute palette. Sadly, it's expired, it's just too old. And then I brought 3 new palettes in. I got the Dragon palette from What's Up Beauty and PR. I used my Ulta points to get the Retro Glam palette from Natasha Denona, and I also purchased the Vive 90s palette. Next are eyeshadow singles. I did declutter quite a few of my really old singles, probably like right after I did my inventory video in July. And then I did bring a couple of new ones in. So I had 45 last time, I now have 34. And so even though I did declutter quite a few eyeshadow singles, and I finished a quad, and I decluttered a palette, and I brought 3 in. I would have thought that my number of eyeshadows would have gone down, but I actually went up. I had 207 last time, I now have 221. Now we're moving on to face products. I have highlighters here. I had 12 last time, and I still have 12, but there have been quite a few changes. I did switch out my Lovegasm palette, the one on the top left corner. I had the medium to deep version last year, and then I did purchase the light version that came out earlier this year. I passed the medium version on to my friend who has a deeper skin tone. I've essentially just switched one face palette out with another that works for me better. I finished the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter in that Film Star Bronze and Glow duo. I decluttered one of the mini Becca highlighters. I finished the Milani one, I decluttered the Melt and the Coco Kind one, and then I did bring in a few liquid highlighters. You can see those on the bottom right side. I'm not really sure where I stand with highlighters right now. Often I don't want to wear a powder highlighter because it's going to be too much, or it's going to look too much like powder on my skin, but then sometimes I feel like I'm even more oily than normal, and so these cream highlighters, these liquid highlighters, they just make me look even greasier than I am. I'm not even wearing highlighter today though. Like some days I just don't wear it at all, and this is the first time in my life where I haven't really felt super strongly about highlighters. I mean, I love my Spotlight from Charlotte Tilbury. That's still one of my all-time favorite ones. Yeah, I don't know if it's just because I haven't been super crazy about the newer cream highlights that I've been trying. Has anyone else been having different opinions about their highlighters in their collection? Have you found other ways you like to use them? Have you found a type of formula that you prefer now? Any insight you can give me. I'm just not really sure where I stand or how I feel about my highlighter collection right now. Not blushes though. I know exactly where I stand with blushes. I love them. I love them more than ever. I love cream blushes, I love liquid blushes, powder blushes, you name it. I'm a big fan, and so I have grown in number of blushes recently. I had 19 last time, I now have 23. For the most part, a lot of my blushes are very different in tone or formula, and so even though I do have a lot of blushes, I don't really feel like I have an excess of blush where I have like 8 of the same color and formula. And there are a few other blushes on my wish list that I'd like to get. There's a shade from House Labs. It's like this really bright shimmery pink. I do kind of want to get my hands on that, and a few other ones, but I'm just holding off. I don't need them right now. Now for bronzers and contours, I lump these all together because I have some contour products that I use more like a bronzer, and then I have some bronzers that are more cool toned and I use them like a contour. The lines are very blurred for me there, so I just put it all in one category. Last time I had 6. I don't think I've finished anything up since then. I did declutter that mini Tarte cream bronzer because I did wear it a lot when I first had it, but it has dried out, the packaging broke and the formula changed. And I'm almost finished with the bronzer from the Balm. But I did repurchase the Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I purchased the bronzer duo from Vive, and then I did get the Fenty bronzer as a Christmas present. For face powders, I go through face powder pretty quickly, and so I did finish quite a few last time. The turnover for this type of product is pretty high for me, so if you can see, I finished 2 of the Besame powders, I finished the Essence powder, and I did bring a couple new ones in, but I'm already almost finished with some of them. I did try the Pat McGrath powder for my under eyes, and I'm really liking it. It's kind of giving the Besame Violet powder a run for its money. I'm almost done with the Milk one, and the little mini NYX one I don't think would take me long to go through. And then of course the RCMA one, my old reliable, my favorite. This next category has exploded. Concealers and color correctors. I had 10 last time, and I had purchased quite a few under eye color correctors because I did a big comparison where I compared like all the color correctors that I could get my hands on, and so I purchased a bunch at once, but I was slowly working my way through them. I had finished the Sigma one and the one from Flower Beauty, and I was almost done with the Tarte one last time. Since then I have finished up the Tarte one, and I am currently working on the Pixie and the Charlotte Tilbury one. I finished 2 of the mini concealers, and then I ended up purchasing quite a few concealers and green color correctors specifically. I want to do another best and worst color correctors, but specifically green ones. I've been wearing them a lot to neutralize my foundations and really loving it. I think it does a great job helping to mask a lot of the redness that I have in my face. And so I figured if I'm already picking up a few green color correctors to figure out which one is the best for me, I might as well turn it into a comparison video, and that way I can create a resource that other people can go to as well. And so I took advantage of a lot of the Black Friday sales and using my Ulta points to pick a few up, and I do actually have a couple more coming in the mail. So I'm going to take my time and really test out all of these. So there isn't going to be a green color corrector comparison video happening in like a week. It's going to take me some time to make sure I'm really getting my full-fleshed thoughts on each of these and just figuring out the best way to compare them and rank them, and that way I'm giving a lot of really useful information. And then I did also want to try a bunch of concealers too. So I got one from Milk, from Make Beauty, from Vive. I bought one from Ulta. I repurchased one from Makeup Revolution. I got the NYX concealer that like everybody and their mother talks about. I got the Natasha Denona one. That one is also very popular. I don't really have trouble going through concealers regularly, and so even though this has exploded quite a bit, it's not something that I think is going to get bigger as we go. Like, I think I'm gonna be able to go through some of my oldest formulas and then not feel like I need to replace them as quickly as I have been in the last 6 months. Next up, we have foundations. I had 3. I finished the one from IT Cosmetics. I did purchase a white foundation mixer to lighten some of my shades. And then I also got the one from Fenty and then the one from Smashbox. Foundation takes me a while to get through, so I'm not eager to buy a ton of new foundations because I know that I wouldn't be able to realistically finish them before they expire, but I'm really happy with what I have here. Powder foundation. This is the end of an era. I think I had that same Makeup Revolution powder foundation for years. I finally finished it, and I decided to replace it with one from Fenty Beauty. Primers also exploded. I did finish the one from Too Faced. I'm almost finished with the one from Charlotte Tilbury. I have those 5 from Smashbox. I think the Milk one I got in PR, and then the other ones were just formulas that I'd been wanting to try, and luckily I was able to buy most of them as travel sizes. I think that's really smart. I love being able to purchase the travel size of a primer if I can. I can't say I'm in the market for any other primers. I think I'm really good with the ones that I have. I have primers for any type of need or concern that I could have. Next one is setting sprays. I went through quite a few setting sprays last year. I finished all of the setting sprays except for the LH Cosmetics ones, and so the ones that are in this new picture are all brand new. I have a really good mix of different types of setting sprays. I have smaller ones for traveling. I like trying out new formulas. Of course, I have my all-nighter for like when I really need my makeup to be reliable that day, but yeah, I don't see anything wrong with me having 7 or even having more if that's what it comes to. Lip liners. This one has also exploded, but I'm not worried about it. Again, I wear them every single day. Look how tiny that little NYX lip liner is in the middle. That one's almost gone. I have been wanting to try some other formulas, not because I don't love the NYX formula anymore. I still really do, but it seems like a lot of brands are coming out with really high quality lip liners. If you can see, I have a lot of nude lip liners because that's kind of my everyday go-to choice. And so who knows, maybe down the line I'll do like a nude lip pencil showdown video. Next category is lipsticks. This is one that I recognize as being maybe a little bit larger than I am comfortable with. I have a lot of really gorgeous formulas and colors though. I do like having a variety to choose from. I genuinely like all of these lip products with the exception of maybe 1 or 2 that I'm not crazy about. I am happy with having 25 lipsticks, but I'm also very aware that I'm not really in the market to purchase any new ones anytime soon. Same with lip glosses. I have acquired quite a few, but I did finish a lot too. I finished 3 of the lip glosses that I have in the original picture, and I do now have 12. I have been having a lot of fun trying out new lip gloss formulas. Next up is liquid lipsticks. I did finish the Nabla one. I used it as a cream blush, and then I think, yeah, I decluttered Beso, the red one, because I don't wear red liquid lips anymore, and I have a couple other red alternatives that I can wear instead. So I still have Palermo, which is a gorgeous shade, and then I did repurchase Baci when it was on sale for half off on the Ulta website, just for nostalgia, just because that was one of my favorite lip products to wear back in the day. And I do occasionally use it. Sometimes I'll like mix it with other things to make them a little bit more purple or more cool toned. And I can also use it as a cream blush, so even though I'm not like actively trying to purchase a bunch of liquid lipsticks anymore, I am really happy with the 2 that I have. Tinted lip balms is next. I only have 1 of the NYX ones left. That used to be like my all-time favorite. I'm almost finished with it, and then I do have a couple more that I have gotten either purchasing myself or getting in PR, and that one from It Cosmetics. That was a favorite of mine back in like 2016 or 17, and I forgot how much I love it. I'm so glad I have it back in my life. All right, let's look at some of the numbers from past years. If you look at the amount I had back in 2021 at the very beginning of the year, I had 224 products. I now have 225. So if you look at the number, it actually hasn't grown that much, but it did decrease a lot between that time, and it even got down to 178 in the middle of last year. So I have grown quite a bit, even though I was able to work through a lot of my oldest products last year. If you'd like to see my empties video, I did go through 89 makeup products last year, so I will have that linked. The average of all of these numbers over the years is 211 products. So I usually have just over 200 makeup products in my collection. One thing I'm really proud of and would like to continue in the future is I have been able to strike a balance of making sure I'm working through my oldest products, still enjoying what I have while still having room to explore and try new brands, new formulas, new makeup styles. I really am happy with the products I have. I love opening my drawers and seeing all these beautiful options and getting to play around and try new things and new favorite ways to wear them and put things together. It's just been always a really fun part of being a makeup collector, a makeup enthusiast. I don't want to use the fact that I make makeup content to be a reason for me to bring in a bunch of stuff at a really unsustainable pace. I think I've been able to find a really good balance over the years, and I would just like to continue doing that. Please know that with this sort of stuff, with my cost per use content, my inventories, everything like that, my intention isn't to spreadsheet everything into the ground and overanalyze it to the point where it's not fun anymore. This is something that makes the process even more fun for me. I like to quantify stuff when I can. I think it's valuable to know and keep in mind when you're making purchasing decisions. But at the end of the day, I still just want to have fun with what I have and enjoy it. And if it gets to a point where I'm not having fun with that anymore, then I will probably take a new approach. Anyway, that's everything I have. I hope you enjoyed getting a little peek into my makeup collection. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in my next video.